Vehicles were damaged. One man was sent to the hospital. Southbound Michigan Avenue, the focus of the shutdowns between Lake and Randolph, remain closed. Two are hurt following a fire in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood. Authorities say that blaze began early this morning inside one home and spread to two others on West 24th. The victims were taken to local hospitals. Right now, their conditions are not known. A reputed back-of-the-yards gang leader is facing federal charges for shooting an ATF agent last week. AM 560's David Stewart reports.
Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says 27-year-old Ernesto Godinez, who has previous firearms convictions, was arrested thanks to the joint effort of the police, federal agents, and members of the community.
He'll have his day in court, and then we'll see what happens after that. But I think it was an overall effort by CPD, the ATF, other federal partners, as well as community residents to bring this individual to justice.
A judge ordered Godinez held without bond until a May 17th hearing. The agent who was shot suffered wounds to the cheek and nose, but is expected to recover. He was shot trying to place a tracking device on the car of a suspected gun suspect. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
An investigation continues after a 15-year-old girl was killed in a shooting on Chicago's South Side. Police say that teen was shot last night walking near 69th and Carpenter. She suffered a gunshot wound to the chest, later pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. A Maywood woman is facing charges in a deadly hit-and-run crash over the weekend on the Eisenhower Expressway on an exit ramp on the west side. State police say Clinche Little drove off after running into five men walking up the Holman Avenue exit ramp Sunday morning. A Kentucky man was killed. Four other victims were hospitalized. Little appeared in bond court yesterday and ordered held on $50,000 bail. Authorities are calling the deaths of an elderly couple over the weekend in DeKalb County a murder-suicide. Sheriff's office says William and Marjorie Creta were found dead early Sunday in their burning home in the 3300 block of Gurler Road in Malta. Investigators now believe that William shot and killed his wife before setting their barn and house on fire, then shooting himself. Lori Lightfoot taking aim at Mayor Emanuel. She prepares to challenge him next year. Former head of the Chicago Police Board is set to launch a bid for Chicago mayor tomorrow. Speaking with the Sun-Times yesterday, Lightfoot condemned Emanuel for his us versus them style of government. A Chicago man is accused of striking and killing a pedestrian while drunk. Kyle Colbert is charged with aggravated DUI and is in the Will County Jail on $300,000 bond. Sheriff's police say the 26-year-old defendant hit Stephen Fisher Saturday walking near Crete on Richton Road. The Illinois Math and Science Academy in Aurora could soon not just be for kids in Illinois. Lawmakers in Springfield are considering a plan to allow out-of-state and international students to attend as well. Local Democrat Linda Holmes has a plan to allow IMSA to bring in about 150 students who are not from the state. Only Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner seems to think the state's budget process is moving too slowly. The governor demanded more action from the state's top lawmakers on a new state budget, but those lawmakers who met with the governors yesterday say they're confident they can slowly come to terms on a new state spending plan. Fans of Italian beef will be able to celebrate the Chicago staple later this month. A company called Revolution Brewing is teaming up with Al's Beef and Bona Beef to host the first Italian Beef Fest, May 26. It'll take place at the Revolution Tap Room in the Avondale neighborhood. Tickets, $30. A portion of the proceeds will be donated to the Anthony Rizzo Family Foundation. Cubs spotted the Marlins 3-0 in the first inning before rallying for a 4-3 win. Pirates outslugged the White Sox 10-6. Sox try to avoid the two-game sweep at the hands of the Pirates this afternoon at the rate. Cubs go for a 3-game sweep of the Marlins this afternoon. Fire welcoming the Impact to Toyota Park later on tonight, although I'm not sure it's called Toyota Park anymore. Chicago's coming off a 2-1 home loss to Atlanta United FC. The news service of Al Pomani Ford. Stop before you buy your new car. You must visit Al Pomani Ford now. Truckloads of new cars and trucks have just arrived, and everything is priced to sell quickly. Al Pamani Ford is at 25th and North Avenue in Melrose Park. 5:07 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you, with a 100-night sleep trial and financing as low as 0%. And during our Mother's Day sale, get up to $125 off your mattress order when you go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio. That's HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
Every business needs great people, and the better way to find them. Something better than posting your job online and just praying for the right people to see it. ZipRecruiter revolutionized hiring. Their technology finds great candidates for you. No wonder 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. Goodbye post and pray. Hello ZipRecruiter. The smartest way to hire.
Try it for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
I'm Dan Proft.
And I'm Amy Jacobson.
Today we want to share with you a chance to show your support for our first responders, our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics by supporting the 100 Club of Chicago.
Too often, our police officers and first responders are treated like the enemy. They are overworked and underappreciated, and they face incredible scrutiny.
Today, you can be part of the solution, and you can promote your business in the process.
Right now, call 312-363-6680 and purchase a foursome at our upcoming golf outing at the Bolingbrook Golf Club on Thursday, June 14th for just $1,196. A portion of the proceeds will go to the 100 Club of Chicago, and as a business owner or marketing manager, you will receive 25 60-second commercials that will air right here on AM 560 Monday through Sunday between 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. Just call 312-363-6680 and ask for the Business Benefactor Program. That's 312-363-6680.
Or go to 560theanswer.com/golf.
5:10. Get an update on the roads now in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. We're sure of that name. It's Jim Telemonti. Good morning, Jim.
Well, good morning, Mike. Lots going on between falling debris and fires downtown Chicago. As Mike mentioned, southbound Michigan Avenue is blocked Lake to Randolph. It is open northbound, and the nearby side street Garland Court is blocked between Randolph and Lake as well. Got a lot of fire activity the area around 24th in California. This is after a fire on the 2600 block of 24th Street. Crews are at the scene still after that fire was extinguished. Same true southeast, 79th and Muskegon. Veterans Memorial Tollway, southbound 355. The exit to Ogden Avenue is blocked. Crash. Roadwork delays on eastbound I-80 from Maple to Wolf. Westbound LaGrange Road to Wolf. Construction now clearing. And on Bishop Ford heavy. 130th to 115th, work clearing out of the two right lanes. Traffic service with Discover Student Loans. Figuring out how to cover college costs? Discover Student Loans is one of the top private student loan lenders in the country. Great rate, zero fees. Plus, students can earn a cash reward for good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Here is meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Cloudy day with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Showers and thunderstorms, some heavy for the afternoon, high 76. Early evening thunderstorm in spots, otherwise a mainly cloudy night, low 59. Morning clouds and some sun tomorrow, high 72. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
63 right now at O'Hare, 61 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, let's start with some election results yesterday. It's always interesting to talk about election results. Don Blankenship.
Oh, no. What happened?
What
happened?
He didn't make it despite bubbling up to the lead in some polls going into yesterday's elections. Don Blankenship, a Republican candidate for Senate in West Virginia. Patrick Morrissey, the attorney general there, won the primary, will face off against Joe Manchin in one of the GOP's better pickup opportunities. A state Donald Trump won by 40 points. And it became sort of an interesting race because of Don Blankenship, who's a convicted felon coal executive. He was convicted for criminal negligence in a coal mine collapse that killed 21 coal miners, a company that he ran, Massey Energy. But it was the commercials that really made him stand out.
I don't want him to go away. The only reason why I wanted him to win was because of these crazy commercials. Next gen.
Don Blankenship, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. The politicians are running a lot of crazy ads. They blew up the coal mine and then put me in prison. Now they're running ads that say the coal mine blew up and I went to prison. There's no surprise there. But if you want jobs, if you want to end the drug epidemic, and you want to protect the unborn, you need to vote for me. One of my goals as U.S. Senator will be to ditch Cocaine Mitch. When you vote for me, you're voting for the sake of the kids.
And he's holding his 2 grandchildren.
That's a lot of non sequiturs to cram into 30-second commercial, I'll tell you. But you can almost get away with anything with that theme music. Anything sounds reasonable with that that kind of down-home music as the bed.
And there's more.
Swamp Captain Mitch McConnell has created millions of jobs for China people. While doing so, Mitch has gotten rich. In fact, his China family has given him tens of millions of dollars. Mitch's swamp people are now running false negative ads against me. They are also childishly calling me despicable and mentally ill. The war to drain the swamp and create jobs for West Virginia people has begun. I will beat Joe Manchin and ditch Cocaine Mitch for the sake of the kids.
For the sake of the kids.
You know what? I like
he's holding his 2 blonde grandchildren.
I like the fact there's no inflection of his voice.
Yeah.
That's what I really like. You can say outlandish things, but no inflection. Normally, if somebody calls you mentally ill, you don't highlight it.
Yeah.
But okay.
But he said so humbly, and they've called me mentally ill.
What is what's
he lost by 15 to Morrissey.
What's the Venn diagram between the China people and the swamp people? Is there overlap there?
Apparently, Keith Conrad, our producer, told me that Senator Mitch McConnell, has been answering his phone in his office. Cocaine Mitch, hello. He's been joking around about it because it's so outlandish.
Is that him answering, or is it his China family? You have to separate the McConnells, the American family McConnells, and the China family.
The China family. Well, his wife.
How is Elaine Chao answering her phone?
Wife to Cocaine Mitch, can I help you? But tell people again how that Cocaine Mitch came.
So Elaine Chao was also cabinet secretary 2 times over now, and she's married to Mitch McConnell. Her family, she's from China. Her family has a shipping
China
company.
People.
She's part of the China people. She's part of the China family. And now she's a China fan. She's part of the China family, who has been
China family
sending our jobs to the China people. She's got a shipping company, her family does, and a few years ago there was cocaine found on one of the ships.
Oh, one of the cargoes.
Yeah, but it was never alleged that her company or her family's company was some kind of front for cocaine trafficking, or that Mitch McConnell was the captain of that ship on which the cocaine was found. So it's a bit of a stretch there by Mr. Blankenship, but unfortunately we won't have him to entertain us in the general election, but fortunately I have a much better chance to pick up that seat now with Morrissey as the nominee. Here next door, we've been running his ads the last 3 months. Mike Braun.
Right. He
beat
two
congressmen.
Who else did he beat?
Luke Messer and Todd Rokita.
Yeah.
I mean, they started out, Todd Rokita, you said 2 incumbent congressmen. I think you've got Luke Messer. He's like He's like 5th or 6th ranking in terms of leadership in the House Republican caucus. And those two, Rokita and Messer, who have sort of a long-standing rivalry, they were sparring with each other for the first part of the campaign. Mike Braun gets in a few months after they did. He didn't get in until the fall of last year.
And Luke Messer gave up his congressional seat
Well,
to run for
did.
senator. You're right.
You
But
have
I
to.
mean,
So did
and
Rokita.
who took over for there was Mike Pence's brother, Greg Pence.
Right. He won the primary
Won the
yesterday.
primary,
First
yep.
time runner for office.
Do you think name recognition helped?
It couldn't
I
have,
mean, I'm
couldn't
just,
have hurt. Couldn't have
just
hurt.
saying, that fundraiser that his brother went to. Do you think that helped?
But the Braun thing, he was a state rep for a few years, but sort of a wealthy businessman who spent a lot of his own money in advance of his campaign. But he kind of, he won going away. It was like 41 to 30 to 30, or with fractions in there. But it's interesting because 2 incumbent congressmen in Indiana, and that antagonism the Republican primary electorate has for incumbents, particularly incumbent Republicans who they're disappointed with. And Braun, I think, did an effective job sort of casting Messer and Rokita as swamp people. Not China people.
Did you swamp people?
Swamp Captain Mitch McConnell has created millions of jobs for China people. While doing so, Mitch has gotten rich. In fact, his China family has given him tens of millions of dollars. Mitch's swamp people are now running false negative ads against me. They are also childishly calling me despicable and mentally ill. The war to drain the swamp and create jobs for West Virginia people has begun. I will beat Joe Manchin and ditch Cocaine Mitch for the sake of the kids.
Well, it's for the kids. If it's for the kids, Don, I guess why didn't you just say it was for the kids?
He's holding 2 blonde grandchildren, too.
How about another glass of that Country Time lemonade, Don? Let's talk about Cocaine Mitch a little bit more. And then the other race of note, not Rob Corddry, because he's an actor. He's a comedic actor. But the Corddry who followed Elizabeth Warren at that as the commissar of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. He won the Democrat primary for governor in Ohio. He's going to face off against Mike DeWine. So that's an important gubernatorial race to see if Republicans can maintain control of Ohio with Kasich term limited.
Mm-hmm. And Kasich may run as an independent for president in 2020.
Yeah.
Do you think he's got a chance?
No.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Coming up next, Hall of Famer has a new job. But first, here's your forecast. Showers and thunderstorms, they are quickly approaching the Chicago area. They can bring hail and some damaging winds, a high of 76 degrees today. Tonight, a thunderstorm in spots. Otherwise, mainly cloudy, mild, a low of 59. And for tomorrow, plenty of morning clouds, then sun by the afternoon, a high of 72 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Be up now and ahead of those storms, potentially. That being said, there are still some issues. I-80 westbound, stop and go Humboldt to I-55 after some overnight road construction. Southbound 355, Veterans Memorial Tollway, the exit to Ogden is closed due to a crash in that area. Edens, Kennedy are fine. Express lanes have opened inbound on Kennedy. Eisenhower and Stevenson still okay. On Ryan, a little heavy approaching downtown. Bishop Ford, stop and go from past the Steel Bridge to 115th with road work still not having cleared. It's late. 2 right lanes remain blocked there. So we're looking about a 7-minute delay. Downtown southbound Michigan Avenue remains closed. Lake Randolph after a part of a scaffold fell and some debris by a building yesterday. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
You know I love MyPillow, but here's the answer for the rest of your body. It's the MyPillow mattress topper. It helps your entire body keep it cool and comfortable throughout the night with 3 unique layers of comfort that evenly supports your body weight, helps relieve pressure points, and keeps your body temperature regulated. And for the month of May, you can get 30% off this MyPillow mattress topper plus 2 free standard MyPillows with your mattress topper purchase. You heard right, 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off that mattress topper. You get the same 10-year warranty on your mattress topper
and 60-day money-back guarantee. So go online or call now and grab this great deal and others, including 30% off pet beds, sheets, and much more. And yes, you can still get the 4-pack deal in May. Call 800-489-0201, promo code Amy, or visit mypillow.com, promo code Amy.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage, $75 per month level rate for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110 per month, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rate guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote at 1-800-569-5440. That's 1-800-569-5440. You're probably paying more than you should. Call Term Busters, 1-800-569-5440, or visit our website at termbusters.net. Remember, 1-800-569-5440. Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting. Exam required to qualify.
This is Dan Proth with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. To paraphrase Lenin, in 2018 America, a socialist is a Democrat in a hurry. Just ask Hillary, who said when asked if labeling herself a capitalist hurt her in 2016. Probably. I mean, it's hard to know, but if you're in the Iowa caucuses and 41% of Democrats are socialists, Hillary effectively conceded that Democrats are in a hurry to exile her and embrace Comrade Bernie's guarantee of a federal paycheck in every mailbox and a Tesla in every garage. Instead of being on defense over the personal chaos that follows Trump around like the cloud of dust that did Pigpen, Republicans should restrain themselves from spending like socialists and get on offense over Democrats' wholesale embrace of a gutter ideology whose main feature is a body count. The electorate that gave control of 2/3 of governors' mansions and state legislatures to Republicans, along with the House, Senate, and White House, is not on board with the Venezuelan model of shared misery and imposed orthodoxy of thought. Democrats may or may not be overplaying their hand on Trump, but they most certainly are on Karl Marx. Republicans would be wise to answer Hillary's distress call over May Day Democrats.
Hey guys, Ken here from the Business Accelerator podcast, Today's Growth. If you had to choose a vehicle to take you up the rocky side of a mountain, would you choose a Ferrari or a Jeep? The Ferrari's faster, cooler, maybe even sexier, but if you have to get to the top, the Jeep's a better bet. I think we can agree getting to the top is not about the driver, it's the vehicle. Have you noticed people often pick their financial vehicle like they pick their cars? Washington Post shared that only 1 out of 4 people choose a job that uses their college degree. Why? Simple. Something more immediate, maybe cooler, maybe even sexier came along first. Shouldn't the main deciding factors for revenue generation be production or output? Should the cool factor have any weight in choosing someone's income? If getting to the top of the financial mountain is mission critical for you, why not add a few Jeeps to your garage? Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that makes it to the top every time? If so, you have to see the Jeeps lined up at IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Trust, trust, trust. Yes, I said trust 3 times because I want to tell you about a recent AM 560 charity benefactor and company that built their business and reputation over 3 decades by being trustworthy. I'm talking about Dependable Construction and founder Joe Barron. Tuck pointing, brick, and roofing is Joe's specialty. Joe started as a laborer, then progressed to an expert tuck pointer and bricklayer. In addition to masonry and roofing, Dependable Construction has grown to become a full-service Angie's List and Better Business Bureau award-winning contractor. For brick, masonry, and roofing on residential, commercial, or industrial projects to any remodeling or construction, you'll deal directly with owner Joe Barron. So call Joe at Dependable Construction today. Mention AM 560 and receive a 10% discount on most jobs. Call 773-244-1091. That's 773-244-1091 or visit tuckpointchicago.net. tuckpointchicago.net.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. As you mentioned, Amy, a little bit of Cubs Hall of Famer update.
I love this story.
Andre Dawson, the Hawk, he retired after his playing days to Florida. He's was with the Marlins organization for a time, and
I mean, he's a great 400 homers, 300 stolen bases.
But he's a
MVP in Chicago. Remember that?
I do, when they were in last place. Yeah, which is where they belong. But he likes to stay busy. He's an industrious type.
Right.
And so, with life after baseball, these guys are still young guys. They got a lot of work life ahead of them if they want to. If they want to stay productive. Andre Dawson does. So he and his wife, Vanessa, own and operate the Paradise Funeral Home in Richmond Heights, Florida.
It's a great article. It's in USA Today today, and it's wonderful. It talks about how this one man made a phone call. His father had passed away in the home in Miami, and the knock at the door, 3 men come in to take the body. And he looks up at him and he's crying. He wasn't sure if he's seeing things. He's, the Hawk? Is that you? Is it you? And he said, yeah, I'm Andre Dawson. I own the funeral home. And he drives.
And then the guy said, I loved you when you played for the Expos.
He said, no, I loved you when you played for the Marlins. And he ran back to his room and got a picture that he took with the Hawk when he was 7 years old and showed it to him. And then they took a picture together. And he said it helped with the grieving process. But he drives one of their 5 hearses. He does everything but embalm the bodies. And he's worked there for 10 years. He cleans the toilets. He cleans the floor because he said he's a perfectionist and he's a professional and he wants to make sure everything looks right for the families. And he walks families to their seats at the wakes and the funerals.
Point of order, the Hawk is Hawk Harrelson.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Andre Dawson is Hawk.
Hawk.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Well, you used
Words are hard on Wednesday.
You said the Hawk.
Oh.
The Hawk is
I was like,
Ken
oh, okay.
Hawk Harrelson.
But I met Andre Dawson when he learned how to swim. Gosh, I think it was 20 years ago.
You taught Andre Dawson how to swim?
No, he was learning how to swim because we did a story on him at Channel 5 because he said it was never too late to learn how to swim. He'd never, ever would ever touch a pool. Even though he grew up, I think he grew up in Florida around number of pools, and he just never did it. So he decided at his age that he should learn how to swim.
Doesn't want to end up at the Paradise Memorial Funeral Home before his time.
We used to.
Well, that's why I learned to swim. Yeah,
sink or swim, baby.
It's great to actually hear his attitude because I mean
it's lovely.
He's
he made $30 million a year, didn't he? At one point in time.
$30 million total.
Total.
You have to be strong in business. It's not for the weak. The hardest thing is that you've experienced to some degree what they're feeling. Talking about his clients, of course, on family's most difficult time. But you don't know how they feel because everyone mourns and grieves differently. So he's a thoughtful guy, and I like the fact that he does everything from, as you were mentioning, drive the hearse to clean the bathrooms. There's like no airs about him. And he's building a business that he wants to leave to, future generations of Hawks.
And I love this quote. He said, you've got to know when the appropriate time is to sit and listen and when you have to interject and be a counselor. It's an emotional time, and it can divide families. It would ease the pain of death if you're a big baseball fan, and there he is, escorting you to your seat. Oh, but you're not going to have anybody at your funeral, right?
Oh, I need a former Sox to open. Maybe like if Chet Lemon would open a funeral home, then I'll have my service there.
Chet Lemon reference.
I mean,
what about Carlton
thank
Fisk?
You. Who you just recently were introduced to. I go to him for my hair products, but I don't know about my final passage, as it were. The Hawk thing, though, it really is.
It's amazing.
I mean, I loved him as a player. He's a blood and guts player, but this is a cool story. I just wonder does he come out of the ivy at the service? Do they have any?
Well, he said. I mean, he says he has trouble keeping his emotions in check during some of the services because it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So he grieves with these people.
It's almost like a 6 Feet Under episode.
It really is.
Oh, yeah.
Almost.
It really is.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
The
Life
Hawk is
imitating
Peter Krause.
HBO.
Peter Krause is the Hawk.
All right.
And the Hawk will make sure Donald Trump isn't at somebody's funeral. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Trump pulls the U.S. out of the Paris peace treaties to hear the D.C. press corps tell it.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
63 degrees. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani says Iran will look to stay in the international deal that President Trump just pulled the U.S. out of.
When the United States had maximum leverage, this disastrous deal gave this regime of great terror many billions of dollars, a great embarrassment to me as a citizen.
The president saying the Iranian regime is the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism. Reacting, Florida Democrat Senator Bill Nelson.
We need to put more pressure on Iran with additional economic sanctions to stop them from developing their ICBM missiles. But pulling out of this deal now is a tragic mistake.
Meantime, Iran has threatened to reactivate its nuclear program if the U.S. pulls out. North Korea will reportedly release 3 American prisoners. South Korean media reporting the North will release the prisoners as a sign of goodwill ahead of the summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un. The voters have spoken in 4 major U.S. primaries. Ohio's race for governor is set. After securing the Republican nomination, Mike DeWine looked ahead to his race against Democratic nominee Richard Cordray.
We are the ticket that has demonstrated through our actions and through our record of accomplishments that we are about the future in the state of Ohio.
West Virginia's Attorney General fending off controversial former coal executive to claim the Republican Senate nomination. Patrick Morrissey claiming victory in that Senate GOP race.
We have an opportunity here to retire Joe Manchin and send a conservative fighter to Washington. Are you with me?
In North Carolina, Republican Robert Pittenger conceded to his opponent overnight, Mark Harris. Republican Mike Braun will face Democrat incumbent Joe Donnelly for the Indiana U.S. Senate seat.
I think his record is going to be flushed out, and it's all of our job to do it, and I think that's what's going to carry me to victory.
Braun is a successful businessman and former state representative. 2 new cracks in the earth near the Kilauea volcano are spewing out dangerous gases on Hawaii's Big Island. The new fissures split open Tuesday afternoon. Residents, more of them, are being ordered to evacuate. A portion of Michigan Avenue remains shut down after debris fell from a building yesterday afternoon. Cables attached to a window washer's scaffold fell onto the sidewalk and street yesterday near Michigan Avenue. At least 8 vehicles were damaged. A Maywood woman is facing charges after a deadly hit-and-run crash over the weekend on an Eisenhower Expressway exit ramp on Chicago's west side. State police say Clyde Little drove off after running into the 5 men who were walking up the Holman Avenue exit ramp. Chicago sports. Cubs spotted the Marlins at 3-0 lead in the first before rallying for a 4-3 win. Corey Dickerson 4 for 5 with 2 RBI. Pirates outslugged the White Sox 10-6 in Chicago. And Mariners pitcher James Paxton has a nickname, the Big Maple. He is the first Canadian pitcher in Major League history to throw a no-hitter in Canada. Held the Blue Jays without a hit last night in a 5-0 win in Toronto. The news service of Rogers and Hollins Jewelers, Chicago's family-owned jewelry store. Rogers and Hollins giving you and Mom the chance to win with their Mother's Day sweepstakes. Enter at rogersandhollins.com, and you could win $100 to spend in store, flowers, and a spa gift card. Enter soon because the contest ends May 13th. 5:35, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher sees another distraction from the media.
They're trying to distract from Iran and the showdown, the looming showdown perhaps between Israel and Iran. So what does the media do? They go into their crap file. They say, okay, here's a crap file. We got anonymous reports. John Kelly has called the president an idiot. Would it surprise you if that's the way they do business?
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
It's not easy being a mom, but my Chrysler Pacifica makes soccer practice a little more fun. I can binge all my shows with the available UConnect theater, open the Stow and Go seating to grab my hidden romance novel, or just jam out to the radio.
Hey, Mom, what was that song?
Huh? What song? I didn't hear a song.
Chrysler Pacifica. It's loaded with attitude. Chrysler is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Todd, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Maybe I should switch to Liberty Mutual.
Visit us online to... Hey, stop echoing.
Sorry.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
537, a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Downtown southbound Michigan Avenue remains closed Lake to Randolph after the falling debris from yesterday. You have delays on I-80 westbound Humboldt to I-55 after some overnight road construction. Inbound Bishop Ford all knotted up from past Sibley to 130th. Roadwork still blocking 2 right lanes. It's supposed to clear at 5 o'clock, and it's also heavy. 111th to merge. Bishop Ford already 30 minutes from 8094 to the Rhine. I-57 is 5 to 15. Down Rhine, got a 3-minute delay coming into downtown. Down Stevenson now. Inbound Eisenhower, both with mild delays. Inbound Ike starting at Wolf. Down Stevenson from Harlem to Kedzie. Traffic service of Discover Student Loans. Figuring out how to cover college costs. Discover Student Loans is one of the top private student loan lenders in the country with great rates, 0 fees. Plus, students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Shower and thunderstorms around just to our west right now. Some pretty stiff storms with gusty winds 35 to 40 miles an hour falling just to our west. Hail damaging winds possible, high 76. Currently 63. Next news coming up at just about 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. It's all about, everything he does is about putting America first. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5. Yeah.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. President Trump yesterday making apparently a surprising announcement to many in the D.C. press corps and the establishment ranks of both political parties, but he's been saying for some time it was a terrible deal, the Iran nuclear deal. Israel's been saying that too, our one stalwart ally in the Middle East. Iran is a designated state sponsor of terror. The details were never disclosed. It was never submitted to Congress. Iran, there's manifest evidence, including what Israel revealed last week, that Iran has lied at every turn with respect to their nuclear program. And I know, I mean, if you live in Oak Park, a nuclear-free zone, you don't have to worry about nuclear war.
Yeah, that's
but for the rest of us, we're concerned about state sponsors of terror. So when President Trump announced his decision on the nuclear deal, nobody should have been surprised, and those who don't want to underwrite state sponsors of terror should have been encouraged.
The deal allowed Iran to continue enriching uranium and, over time, reach the brink of a nuclear breakout. The deal lifted crippling economic sanctions on Iran in exchange for very weak limits on the regime's nuclear activity and no limits at all on its other malign behavior, including its sinister activities in Syria, Yemen, and other places all around the world. In other words, at the point when the United States had maximum leverage, this disastrous deal gave this regime, and it's a regime of great terror, many billions of dollars, some of it in actual cash. A great embarrassment to me as a citizen and to all citizens of the United States.
And he made another salient point about the partner in peace Obama wanted.
And we will not allow a regime that chants death to America to gain access to the most deadly weapons on earth.
That seems fairly reasonable.
Yeah. And that's what they were doing, the Iranian parliament, while you all were sleeping.
Right.
They had a copy of an American flag, and they burnt that. They burnt the agreement, and they shouted, "Death to America." Did you see that video? It was a little disheartening, but now I understand why we pulled out of this agreement.
Well, and not unusual coming out of Iran, and not surprising the reaction. So you see that and you say, you know what we should do to those guys? Give them $100 billion and a pathway to a nuclear weapon. Well, what kind of sense does that make? I'm not seeing it, and guess what? That stalwart partner in peace, the actual partner in peace in the region, Israel, isn't seeing it either. Prime Minister Netanyahu on Trump's announcement.
Israel fully supports President Trump's bold decision today to reject the disastrous nuclear deal with the terrorist regime in Tehran. Israel has opposed the nuclear deal from the start because we said that rather than blocking Iran's path to a bomb, the deal actually paves Iran's path to an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs, and this within a few years' time. The removal of sanctions under the deal has already produced disastrous results. The deal didn't push war further away. It actually brought it closer.
And we are seeing that play out with increasing tensions between Iran and Israel. Israel reportedly striking Iranian targets in Syria. Trump mentioned in his remarks their adventurism in places like Yemen as well, and it destabilizes the region. We talked to Jim Carafano from Heritage Foundation yesterday about Iran being the greatest destabilizing force in the region and, by extension, the Western world.
Right. Well, President Trump, defective at its core. And now he's overturned TTP, Paris Climate Deal, the Iranian nuclear deal now, and took away the individual mandate in Obamacare. So he's, but that's why the left is saying that he's just pleasing his supporters, just another campaign promise checked. I don't think so. I think he has our best interests at heart, and he's putting America first. And I'm proud of that. I think it's great.
President Obama, not proud of it.
No, he's called it, serious mistake, I heard.
So misguided, he posted on Facebook and tweeted, walking away from the deal, turns our back on America's closest allies. He's talking about our European allies, not Iran, just to be clear. And an agreement that our country's leading diplomats, scientists, and intelligence professionals negotiated. In a democracy, there will always be changes in policies and priorities, but the consistent flouting of agreements that our country is a party to risks eroding America's credibility and puts us at odds with the world's major powers. Yeah. Well, this is what Trump campaigned on. This is what Trump has now done. He's really not deviated from his position with respect to Iran. The Wall Street Journal mentioned in their op-ed on the topic that the State Department Policy Chief Brian Hook did spend months shuttling between European capitals to get an agreement to strengthen inspections of suspected nuclear sites, stop Iran from developing ballistic missiles, eliminate the deal sunset provisions, and it hasn't happened. The deal signatories, China and Russia, don't share U.S. strategic goals in the Middle East. This just in. But the Trump administration's reasonable presumption, the journal opines, is that the Western democracies in Europe do, Britain, France, Germany, and so Trump also struck a chord of possibility in his remarks yesterday that there's still a deal to be done, but it's not this one,
right?
Essentially.
And people responded. I mean, here's the Trump whisperer, President Macron.
We should not abandon it without having something substantial.
Well, there's a proposal for something more substantial. There's also this coming, which is important. This is the real deal. Carafano said yesterday, we continue to delude ourselves by pretending this deal is in force or not. The real play is, what do you do about this rogue regime, this state sponsor of terror? And Trump intimated what we do.
In the meantime, powerful sanctions will go into full effect. If the regime continues its nuclear aspirations, it will have bigger problems than it has ever had before.
And I thought it was a nice touch as well to close his announcement with a message directly to the Iranian people, trying to essentially stoke the revolt against the mullahs.
I want to deliver a message to the long-suffering people of Iran. The people of America stand with you. It has now been almost 40 years since this dictatorship seized power and took a proud nation hostage. Most of Iran's 80 million citizens have sadly never known an Iran that prospered in peace with its neighbors and commanded the admiration of the world. But the future of Iran belongs to its people.
Jordan in Forest Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan and Andy, good morning. I think this would be perfect timing for the Trump administration to address the North Korea situation and say that North Korea, you will never get an Iran deal to remove sanctions, et cetera, because I think that's what the game is with China and North Korea. Remove the sanctions. They're not going to let inspectors go through that country. No way. And put it right up in front, because that's what they're aiming for, and this would be the perfect time to address it.
Thanks for the call, Jordan. Well, and Trump did make remarks about North Korea kind of in passing in his announcement, talking about Pompeo.
Yeah, he's on his way to North Korea right now he's going to prepare for the summit, secure all the details, but he wants to come back with those 3 American detainees.
Right, and the South Korean president says North Korea is preparing to release them.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be another positive step, and well, frankly, you get hostages released, an accomplishment for the administration.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Forecast for today. A storm is coming, folks. It's passing through Davenport and eastern Iowa right now, so it should be here within 3 or 4 hours if the traffic's good. With that storm, though, can bring some hail and high winds. High today of 76 degrees. Then tonight, a thunderstorm in spots early this evening, a low of 59. And for tomorrow, plenty of clouds, then some sunshine by the afternoon. Crisp day, a beautiful day, a high of 72 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Any storms brewing on the roadways? Here's Jim Talamonte.
Well, Amy, you've got some issues. Southbound Veterans Memorial, the exit to Ogden still closed after a wreck. I-80 westbound, stop and go Humboldt to I-55 after some overnight work. Bishop Ford heavy with overnight work late in clearing. Looking at 30 minutes, 80-90 Ford to the merge. Downtown southbound Michigan Avenue was closed. Lake to Randolph after some debris fell yesterday. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Dan Proft here with Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. And while interest rates have ticked up a bit, they're still at relatively historic lows. So maybe a good time to refinance, particularly you build up equity in the house and you want to see what you can do to fully leverage that. So, Ryan, thinking about refinancing as a possibility or something to explore, how should people consider that?
Great question, Damon. Thanks for letting me join you. Home values have been skyrocketing. It's everywhere. It's in the news feeds. It's out there. And you now have a ton of equity you didn't have just a year ago. And as you said, mortgage interest rates are still low. So what does that mean? It means you have options. One of the biggest calls that we get here at the Home Loan Expert Office is, I've got some credit cards. They piled up through the holidays or maybe with the kids in school and all that. And people are looking to do a cash-out refinance and pay off those credit cards. Cash-out refinance with the Home Loan Expert Office is just as easy as a normal refinance, but we don't stop there. We get you the lower rate. We get you the cash you need to pay off those credit cards once and for all. Apply for a cash-out refinance today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert, LLC.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You've heard me talk about Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville. They're the absolute perfect place to get a gift for the mother in your life. With Mother's Day around the corner, Mother's Day is this Sunday, May 13th. Well, at Roland's, you're going to find gifts that'll tell mom how much you love her, how much you appreciate her. I love the things that Roland's Jewelers offers. I wear a watch from there, one of these great Shinola watches. Roland's has designer brands for mom like Simon G. Now, Simon G believes everything you wear ought to reflect who you are. At Roland's, experience the elegant Simon G boutique with classic to unique designs to capture, your own personal style. Roland's Jewelers, the place to find memorable jewelry for mom this Mother's Day. They're the perfect stop. When you stop in to pick up a gift for mom, make sure to check out their newly designed showroom. They just had their grand reopening. Visit Roland's in downtown Libertyville. Just go to rolandsjewelers.com Rollins.com. Rollins is Rollands. Rollins Jewelers, a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
I'm Dan Proft.
And I'm Amy Jacobson.
Today, we want to share with you a chance to show your support for our first responders, our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics by supporting the 100 Club of Chicago.
Too often, our police officers and first responders are treated like the enemy. They are overworked and underappreciated, and they face incredible scrutiny.
Today, you can be part of the solution, and you can promote your business in the process.
Right now, call 312-363-6680 and purchase a foursome at our upcoming golf outing at the Bolingbrook Golf Club on Thursday, June 14th for just $1,196. A portion of the proceeds will go to the 100 Club of Chicago, and as a business owner or marketing manager, you will receive 25 60-second commercials that will air right here on AM 560 Monday through Sunday between 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. Just call 312-363-6680 and ask for the Business Benefactor Program. That's 312-363-6680.
Or go to 560theanswer.com/golf.
If you have pain, I hope you listen up. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of the side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you could be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com.
Looking to refinance your home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Sally's heard hundreds of Team Hochberg's ads, so naturally she called the nation's largest online lender obsessed with their Rocket because she saw their ad pumping gas. Bad move. The Rocket-loving lender quoted Sally a rate higher than us and closing costs $6,000 more than Team Hochberg's. We explained the exorbitant closing costs and refinanced Sally into a lower rate and credited all of her closing costs. Team Hochberg doesn't have a Rocket, but we have lower rates and substantially lower closing costs than the nation's largest online Rocket-loving lender. You can call the nation's largest online lender who spends millions promoting their Rocket by charging excessive closing costs, or you can call Team Hochberg at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you. With a 100-night sleep trial and financing as low as 0%. And during our Mother's Day sale, get up to $125 off your mattress order when you go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio. That's HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
Every business needs great people, and the better way to find them. Something better than posting your job online and just praying for the right people to see it. ZipRecruiter revolutionized hiring. Their technology finds great candidates for you. No wonder 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. Goodbye post and pray. Hello ZipRecruiter. The smartest way to hire.
Try it for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-566-7906 now for your free reputation analysis. Our dedicated experts and patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-566-7906 to learn more or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
5:57. Let's get an update on the roads this early morning. In the alarm detection systems traffic center, here's Jim.
Thanks. Like ahead of that incoming rain right now. Traffic moves well on the Edens. The Kennedy has mild delays inbound Cumberland to Sayre, outbound Foster to Nagel. 22 minutes either way between O'Hare and downtown. Inbound Eisenhower delays start at Wolf. 38 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 30. Stevenson, 43 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 34. Ryan, 19 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 17 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 29. Southbound Lakeshore Drive at Belmont crash involving 2 cars. Southbound 355, the exit to Ogden is closed after a crash. Traffic Service of Discover Student Loans. Figuring out how to cover college costs? Discover Student Loans is one of the top private student loan lenders in the country with great rates, 0 fees, plus students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
At 5:58 on AM 560, it's time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal. 800-421-SEAL. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center with our meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today rather cloudy and breezy. Couple of showers and a thunderstorm early on, then a heavy thunderstorm late in the afternoon, which could bring hail and damaging winds. We'll have a high today of 76. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
Currently 63 degrees. Our next news is at 6:30 in the news, a service of Napa. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil is on sale for $5.99 a quart. That's Napa know-how. General States prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 5/31/18. At 5:59, here are the stories we're following on AM 560, The Answer. Chicago Fire telling us moments ago that a girl is in critical condition following a blaze on the south side after police were flagged down early this morning by a man who said his family was inside a burning home near 79th and Muskegon. Officers were able to break into that home and rescue the man's wife, and firefighters rescued his wheelchair-bound daughter. Portion of Michigan Avenue remains closed in downtown Chicago after debris fell from a building yesterday afternoon. Authorities are calling the deaths of an elderly couple over the weekend in DeKalb County now a murder-suicide. Cubs spotted the Marlins an early lead and rallied for a win at Wrigley as the Pirates outslugged the White Sox. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
He told over 10 lies. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Iran's supreme leader says about President Trump's speech pulling the U.S. out of the nuclear agreement the president called one-sided and terrible.
It didn't bring calm. It didn't bring peace, and it never will.
And his decision will lead to new U.S. sanctions, but Iran's supreme leader said the president cannot do a damn thing, as our European allies and China all say they want to keep the Iran nuclear deal in place, and Iran's president wants the same thing. Secretary of State Pompeo is in North Korea, setting the stage for the upcoming meeting between Kim Jong-un and President Trump, trying to denuclearize that country. Gina Haspel is the president's pick to replace Pompeo as CIA director, and she has a job interview today.
What the 33-year career veteran can expect this morning from the Senate Intelligence Committee is tough questions about her role in the agency's post-9/11 enhanced interrogation program and waterboarding, which Haspel plans to address head-on in her opening statement. In an excerpt, she says, having served in that tumultuous time, I can offer you my personal commitment, clearly and without reservation, that under my leadership, CIA will not restart such a detention and interrogation program.
Fox's Griff Jenkins, weeks after he was raided by the FBI. There's a new report on the president's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, involving financial transactions possibly linked to a Russian billionaire. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
No comment yet from Michael Cohen after the New York Times claimed that President Trump's personal attorney received payments of about $500,000 from a firm linked to a Russian oligarch named Viktor Vekselberg. An attorney for the company said the money was for a consulting fee and was unconnected to Vekselberg. Vekselberg who was among the Russian oligarchs sanctioned by the Treasury Department last month, has not been accused of wrongdoing in connection with the special counsel's investigation of Russia meddling in the 2016 presidential election. Dave?
This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Buying a new tractor? You owe it to yourself to visit your LS Tractor dealer. LS Tractors give you a lot more tractor for less money compared to other brands. For starters, LS Tractor comes with more select features as standard equipment. They make operating your tractor easier with better performance to get more work done quicker. Compare and you'll know who gives you more tractor for your money. LS Tractor. Excel in your field. Learn more at lstractorusa.com.
Visit Abbey Equipment in Streeter and get more tractor.
When you're hiring, you don't want to waste time sorting through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want an efficient way to get to a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions based on your job requirements. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and turning our attention back to this announcement by the president yesterday that he is withdrawing the United States from this agreement with Iran and other signatories, Western European powers, China, Russia, that the nuclear deal, as he said throughout the campaign and his presidency, one of the worst deals in American history. He doesn't want America to be a part of it. He made that clear. But before we get to some of what he had to say and some of what you have to say, 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Let's remember, let's have a little institutional memory here, unlike the D.C. press corps. Let's remember what Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu laid out last week, the information and intelligence that Israelis obtained about the nuclear program in Iran and the layers and layers of, shouldn't be surprising, lies that Iran had been telling the world.
After signing the nuclear deal in 2015, Iran intensified its efforts to hide its secret nuclear files. In 2017, Iran moved its nuclear weapons files to a highly secret location in Tehran. This is the Shorabad district in southern Tehran. This is where they kept the atomic archives, right here. Few Iranians knew where it was, very few, and also a few Israelis. Now, from the outside, this was an innocent-looking compound. It looks like a dilapidated warehouse. But from the inside, it contained Iran's secret atomic archives locked in massive files. Actually, they're a little bigger than this, okay? A few weeks ago, in a great intelligence achievement, Israel obtained half a ton of the material inside these vaults. And here's what we got. 55,000 pages. Another 55,000 files on 183 CDs. Everything you're about to see is an exact copy of the original Iranian material. You may want to know where are the originals. Well, I can say they're now in a very safe place. Here's what the files included: incriminating documents, incriminating charts, incriminating presentations, incriminating blueprints, incriminating photos, incriminating videos, and more.
So who should we believe? Should we believe our Israeli allies and the information they obtained through this rather incredible, remarkable operation, ostensibly by Mossad, to obtain the information you just heard the Prime Minister discussing? Or should we believe the D.C. press corps echo chamber that Ben Rhodes and the gang set up during the Obama administration, which continues to reverberate to this day in lieu of the announcement that President Trump made yesterday? Who do you want to place your bet on? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line.
I'm going to go with the Israelis and with President Trump. Because I think, and to watch them have this temper tantrum, the Iranian parliament members burning an American flag, chanting death to America, they're just upset because they're not getting bags of cash anymore. That's why they're pouting. And they didn't get their way. Well, too bad. We have a new person in charge, and his name is President Trump. And yes, he did dismantle the TTP, the Paris Climate Agreement. He's done things. He's done what he said he was going to do during the campaign, and that's put America first and our best interests.
Well, and the other thing, Mike Scott reporting, Houthi rebels in Yemen targeting missile strikes on Riyadh this morning. So these are the Iranian-backed terrorists in Yemen.
Oh.
And President Trump mentioned Iranian adventurism in Yemen, as well as, of course, Syria, in his remarks yesterday. Remember, this is the State Department, including Obama's State Department, and every State Department since the revolution in Tehran, state sponsor of terror, lead state sponsor of terror in a modern context. So what is it exactly we thought we were getting, and what is it we hope to get from a deal predicated on lack of transparency, except that we have gotten from the Israelis, which detail what's actually going on.
They sent in spies and got the real information.
And the reason
that they're still been building up their nuclear program.
And the reason that Iran is chanting "Death to America" and burning the flag, in addition to because it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
Is because the sanctions go back into effect. The sanctions in place before the 2015 agreement go back into effect. President Trump made that clear. And those sanctions ban new deals with Iran, puts a long list of Iranian banks, individuals, airlines, and other companies on its blacklist. Now, there's several months for companies, U.S. and foreign companies, to disentangle existing ties with the country. But the U.S. will consider any company continuing to export planes and parts to Iran, Boeing, conducting U.S. dollar transactions, trading in gold and other metals or Iranian sovereign debt, or engaging in auto industry deals after August 6th to be in violation of its sanctions program. By November 4th, all companies and individuals barred from buying Iranian oil, conducting business in Iran's ports or shipping industry, and be required to cut ties to Iran's insurance sector and dealings with its central bank. So this is where you really start to hammer Iran, take the punch out of them, and hopefully bring some renewed stability to the region, such as it can be, by crippling their ability to engage in the adventurism the president described in his remarks.
No, what it means for us right now, gas prices are probably, undoubtedly going to go up.
I don't know that there's a causal link there. I mean,
yeah, I know. I hate being dependent on foreign oil.
Well, and we're really not in the fracking age. We're really not.
Okay.
I mean, Steve Moore, who we'll have on later in the show, will speak to that. But we're going to soon be, if we're not already, on the cusp of it, the world's largest producer of these fossil fuels that fuel our economy. So there's no reason for us to look at it as we have to sort of play ball with the state sponsor of terror for their oil. We don't have to. We don't need to. We have our own resources.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line.
Dan in Northwest Indiana.
Hi. I'm a retired military intelligence officer, and I'm by no means an expert on this nuclear agreement with Iran. But first of all, kudos to the Mossad for an intelligence coup. If our intelligence agencies were allowed to operate as they can, things like Benghazi wouldn't have happened. And then we wouldn't have to listen to the lies afterward. So now here we are in a situation where we've got a sworn enemy, obviously, who, with this death to America, death to Israel, so on and so forth, at every public gathering I have ever watched them have, we're going to believe them over our only ally in the Middle East.
Right.
So I'll include Jordan as well, but I mean that's just common sense.
Yes. Thanks for the call, Dan. Appreciate it. I mean, one other note too, in terms of the complaints from Obama apparatchiks. Many other commentators have pointed this out, but it's worth noting. President Obama could have prevented someone who wasn't allied with him on this issue that was going to potentially become president from unwinding it. All he had to do was submit it to Congress as a treaty.
Right,
and get it
but
ratified
he knew
that
Congress
way.
wouldn't ratify it, yeah.
So, but he chose not to go that route. Mike in Union, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Morning, Dan and Amy. I think the real reason President Obama is upset is that the only shovel-ready stimulus package that's ever worked under his presidency was money to the Iranians. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
Shovel-ready. Like a ribbon-cutting ceremony, too.
Paul in New Lenox. Hi, Paul.
Hey. I might not be a smart man, but I do know what a cover-up is.
Okay.
Thanks, Forrest Gump. I'll be your Jenny.
Robert in Oak Brook.
Yeah, real quick. Our intelligence is superior, except for the fact that they didn't even discover that the cartels dug tunnels underneath our own borders. Now, if we cannot discover our own tunnels being dug for drug running, how are we supposed to know what a country is doing clear across the world? Because we're supposedly allowed to have people come in and look over what they want us to look over?
Well, right. I mean, this is the inspection regime that was not particularly compelling, and the president made mention of that. But in terms of the Israeli intelligence, do you doubt that? Yeah, you don't doubt that.
No, spot on. But there's still people within our government who go, no, that can't be true.
Yeah.
Because we didn't do it. So, we have to wake up, folks.
Thanks for the call, Robert. And the other thing, too, is, people, with the other argument that's being made by proponents of the deal is, it's always the pay-on to part of the global community and our allies. And President Trump soft-pedaled the disagreement between the allies and promoted the idea that we have a general agreement. We don't want a nuclear Iran, and there's some disagreements underneath that header. But remember, before you kind of fall in love with England and France and Germany on this deal that Trump just walked away from, they're doing business with Iran. Iran's selling oil into their countries. So, the
Germans are selling their cars to Iranians. There's
that
aspect.
There's always a clean hands issue with some of these heads of state. I mean, our head of state too. But I mean, let's just put all the cards on the table and understand what people's interests are that may be motivating their positions.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, a storm is approaching in the northwest suburbs. Dark.
Is it named Daniel?
Oh. No, she's coming June 14th, 15th, and 16th. Trying to get her to go to the 100 Club of Chicago golf outing in Bolingbrook. Wouldn't that be great? She drove the beer cart. Or maybe she'll play golf. Who knows? As you can see, if you look outside your window, a thunderstorm is coming. With it can bring some hail and damaging high winds. We'll have 76 degrees today. And then tonight, a thunderstorm in spots. And then for tomorrow, plenty of morning clouds, the sun and clouds mixture by the afternoon. So that's good news, and a high of 72. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Good morning. Morning, Dan. Downtown Chicago, Michigan Avenue still closed southbound Lake to Randolph after some debris and part of a scaffold fell from the building yesterday. Southbound Veterans Memorial Tollway, 355. The exit to Ogden is closed after an earlier crash involving a motorcycle. Eden's runs 21 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 19. Kennedy, 29 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 22. On Eisenhower, 48 minutes, 390 to the Circle, 35 from Manheim, outbound 31 to 390. Inbound Stevenson again heavy early. The main delays are LaGrange Road to Kedzie, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 19 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 19 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop 428. Southbound Lakeshore Drive to Belmont, crash. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
The rapid evolution of technology and industrial robotic automation systems offers a multitude of solutions that give manufacturers a competitive advantage. From ergonomics, quality control, and the need to meet increased production goals while improving the lives of everybody on the factory floor, industrial robotic automation can mean increased profitability and higher quality jobs. Matrix Industrial Automation has built a reputation as an industry leader in developing, building, and installing a wide range of turnkey robotic automation systems. Manufacturers big and small, local and worldwide, depend on Matrix to deliver the most optimal and robust industrial automation systems with improved ROI in mind. Nearly 2 decades of experience and hundreds of installed systems is why Matrix Industrial Automation, headquartered in Bartlett, Illinois, are the industrial automation experts. For information or to schedule a free automation consultation, visit matrixindustrialautomation.com or call 847-841-8260. That's matrixindustrialautomation.com.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
In my practice, I was getting to the point where I couldn't have the strength to see that many patients anymore. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. It really affected my breathing and the strength that I had. And I was introduced to the fruits and veggies. Just slowly, my strength started to come back, and it was because of the good nutrition. I can't say enough good for Balance of Nature and what it's done for me, and I recommend it to everybody.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO to receive a 50% discount on your first preferred whole health system and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
I'm Dan Proft.
And I'm Amy Jacobson.
Today, we want to share with you a chance to show your support for our first responders, our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics by supporting the 100 Club of Chicago.
Too often, our police officers and first responders are treated like the enemy. They are overworked and underappreciated, and they face incredible scrutiny.
Today, you can be part of the solution, and you can promote your business in the process.
Right now, call 312-363-6680 and purchase a foursome at our upcoming golf outing at the Bolingbrook Golf Club on Thursday, June 14th for just $1,196. A portion of the proceeds will go to the 100 Club of Chicago, and as a business owner or marketing manager, you will receive 25 60-second commercials that will air right here on AM 560 Monday through Sunday between 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. Just call 312-363-6680 and ask for the Business Benefactor Program. That's 312-363-6680.
Or go to 560theanswer.com/golf.
Your local 1-hour heating and air conditioning knows how miserable it feels when your AC goes out. You want it fixed fast, fixed right, and get a fast quote. Unlike some companies, we don't give you a quote until we actually see what the problem is. Then we'll give you our straightforward price and always stand by our work. Right now, get savings on any AC repair. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 hour.
Terms Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Dan Proft here with the Home Loan Expert. He is Ryan Kelly, homeloanexpert.com. And a program that Ryan Kelly has that's near and dear to our hearts here at AM 560 is one specifically that caters to veterans, military families. The Hero Loan Program is what it's called. And Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely, and thank you for letting me join you today, Dan. Hero.loan, that's hero.loan. It's the only way to VA. And we were sitting at our office, and we were trying to find a way to give more back to our service members, active and retired, and military families. The VA loan program really needed to be retooled, I guess, for lack of better words, and that's what we've done. We've streamlined it. We close VA loans in 14 days. I pay for your appraisal, and we give a portion of our money back to a great foundation called Fisher House. If you're even considering refinancing or buying a home and you qualify for the VA financing, apply online today at hero.loan. That's hero.loan, the only way to VA. The Home Loan Expert, LLC.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, speaking of national security and the intelligence community, since we were talking about the context of the Middle East and Iran, how about homeland security as it pertains to our border? Your friend of mine, Amy, Secretary of Homeland Security, Christian Nielsen. You dig her.
She's very smart.
Yeah, it's the Scandinavian.
It's a Scandinavian, yeah.
Yeah, Scandinavian.
It's Norwegian, but yes.
She was before Senate Judiciary Committee yesterday, and she's gotten a bit of a back and forth with Senator Mom with Tennis Shoes. It's awful.
Which one?
Senator Mom with Tennis Shoes, and you thought it was
Tim
Tim Kaine. Well, okay. He's dad on the down low.
Oh, he's dead on the that tries to use minivan.
Patty,
he's on CNN right now. I mean,
yeah.
Really? He was on the Democratic ticket?
Patty Murray is Mom with Tennis Shoes. Yeah. Listen to this exchange. This is about how we treat people who are in this country illegally in terms of processing them.
Okay.
So they're in this country illegally and or have committed other crimes, and this is a little bit of a back and forth about alternative sentencing options for Homeland Security.
So why is the department not asking us to expand the use of alternatives to detention in order to save taxpayer money?
We are looking to do both. So as you know, one of the alternatives to detention is an ankle bracelet. We do utilize those in situations where appropriate. If somebody, however, has broken the law in the sense that there are multiple reentry or they have some other reason to be criminally prosecuted, we actually turn them over to the marshals. We defer them over for prosecution, in which case there is no option for an alternate to detention. So if you look at all the numbers, we are trying to find ways to do it. But I do want to just say again, if you cross in between the ports of entry,
I know what your philosophy is. I'm out of time.
It's not a philosophy. It's a law Congress passed.
Well, I
so
just
we encourage people to go to the ports if they need to come to seek asylum.
And the use of ATD, it seems to me, it's cost-payer saving and much more humane.
Thank you.
So I think I said alternative sentencing. I meant alternatives to detention, as Patty Murray and Nielsen went back and forth on. And this was, and then you heard Nielsen talk about if you wanted to seek asylum, you have to come through a port of entry, and this is something also that Patty Murray bristled at. This is amazing, though. Your philosophy as the Secretary of Homeland Security, and good for her for pushing back and saying, actually, it's the rule of law, and it happens to be a law that this august body passed. This immigration debate continues to just astound me, and the position that Democrats are taking. Keith Ellison, you know, he is the deputy chair of the Democrat National Committee.
Mm-hmm.
He was wearing a T-shirt in a May Day parade on Saturday. Of course he was in a May Day parade.
Of course.
Of course he was.
Why wouldn't he be?
A T-shirt that said, Yo no creo en fronteras. I don't believe in borders. I don't believe in borders. That's Congressman Keith Ellison, who is the Democrat National Committee's deputy chair. Hillary Clinton last week said, being a self-stated capitalist hurt me because 41% of Iowa caucus goers identify as socialist. fast forward, Keith Ellison is an open borders guy, apparently, and not surprisingly. Patty Murray, longtime senator from Washington State, talking about the Secretary of Homeland Security's philosophy when all the Secretary is doing is stating the rule of law. And so you can understand why folks are digging in who take the rule of law seriously. Jeff Sessions, for all of the criticism leveled in his direction, some of it legitimate, and prior to his being cited for contempt here by Devin Nunes, he was in San Diego this week, and he sent a very clear message about those who come to this country illegally.
So today, we're here to send a message to the world that we are not going to let the country be overwhelmed. People are not going to caravan or otherwise stampede our border. We need legality and integrity in our immigration system. That's why the Department of Homeland Security is now referring 100% of illegal southwest border crossings to the Department of Justice for prosecution. And the Department of Justice will take up these cases. I have put in place a zero-tolerance policy for illegal entry on our southwest border. If you cross the border unlawfully, then we will prosecute you. It's that simple. If you smuggle illegal aliens across our border, then we will prosecute you. If you are smuggling a child, then we will prosecute you. And that child may be separated from you as required by law. If you make false statements to an immigration officer or file a fraudulent asylum claim, that's a felony. If you help others do so, that's a felony also. You're going to the jail. So if you're going to come to this country, come here legally. Don't come here illegally.
Of course, he attempt to shout him down during his remarks, but the bottom line is the bottom line. And Sessions is scrambling the resources to make good on what he is describing there with respect to the rule of law at the border. It's the only way.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk about Cocaine Mitch and the China People's big victory in the West Virginia primary with David Drucker at 6:36.
Don't forget the Swamp People. And later, struggling with baby names, you might find inspiration in an unlikely furniture store. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Catch up. There's a storm coming. There's Mike Scott.
Yeah, just to our west, and a threat of severe weather, a minimal threat, but a threat of severe weather throughout the midday here in the Chicago area. The president of Iran says he wants to keep the nuclear agreement together after President Trump pulled the U.S. out of the deal yesterday. NBC's Tehran bureau chief Ali Arouzi has details of the reaction from Iran this morning.
The most stinging rebuke came from the parliament today. Iranian parliamentarians burnt a U.S. flag.
President Hassan Rouhani ordered his foreign minister to begin negotiating with the 5 other nations that signed that accord, an accord that President Trump called disastrous.
I am announcing today that the United States will withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal.
While not a member of that landmark multinational deal, the U.S.'s strongest ally in the region, Israel, is expressing support. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Israel thanks President Trump for his courageous leadership, his commitment to confront the terrorist regime in Tehran, and his commitment to ensure that Iran never gets nuclear weapons.
Meantime, Iran is threatening to reactivate its nuclear program. 2 new cracks in the earth near the Kilauea volcano, pumping out dangerous gases on Hawaii's Big Island. 2 new fissures split open yesterday. Republican leaders relieved this morning after a controversial West Virginia Senate candidate lost. Former coal executive Don Blankenship finished a distant third in the GOP primary, won by State Attorney General Patrick Morrisey, who had thanks for President Trump.
Mr. President, if you're watching right now, let me tell you, your tweet was huge.
In Indiana, Republican Mike Braun will face Democrat incumbent Joe Donnelly for Indiana's U.S. Senate seat.
I think his record is going to be flushed out, and it's
all of our job to do it, and I think that's what's going to carry me to victory.
Congressman Jim Renacci is the expected winner of Ohio's Republican Senate primary. He will face Democrat Sherrod Brown in November's general election. This morning, a girl is in critical condition following a fire on the south side. Officers flagged down this morning by a man who said his family was trapped inside a burning home near 79th and Muskegon. Officers were able to rescue the man's wife. Firefighters pulled his wheelchair-bound daughter out of the flames. She was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center. A portion of Michigan Avenue remains closed after debris fell from a building. Authorities say cables attached to the window washer's scaffolding fell onto the sidewalk and onto cars yesterday near Michigan and Randolph. An investigation continues after a 15-year-old girl was killed in a shooting on Chicago's South Side, and a suspected gang leader is charged with shooting an ATF agent last week. Ernesto Godinez appeared in federal court yesterday, where he was ordered held in custody. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson.
I think it was an overall effort by CPD, the ATF, the other federal partners, as well as community residents to bring this individual to justice.
Authorities say Godinez shot the agent in the face early Friday near 44th and Hermitage. That agent is expected to be released from the hospital later this week. Look who visited the White Sox clubhouse yesterday. Danny Farquhar, released from the hospital after a brain aneurysm. Welcomed White Sox to the dugout yesterday, but the Pirates outslugged the Sox 10-6. Cubs spotted the Marlins an early lead before rallying for a 4-3 win at Wrigley. Rockets and Warriors now on a collision course in the NBA's Western Conference Finals. Rockets beat the Jazz to win their series. Warriors picked off the Pelicans to close out that Western semifinal. The news service of Ace. Stop by your local Ace and take advantage of their biggest grill offer of the year. Free assembly, free delivery, and free fuel on top of their grill brands. $3.99 and up. For Ace Rewards members only through May 14th. See participating stores for details. 6:34 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager sees a threat to democracy, and it's not the president.
There is so much damaging to the American body politic by the anti-Trump left in this country. They keep screaming he is a threat to democracy. It's all nonsense. You can't point to a thing that makes him a threat to democracy. The threat to democracy in the United States, like everywhere, is the left.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
People have long associated the Ozinga name with concrete, but truth be told, Ozinga has always been on a quest to create a better world. We want to help you build your business so you can provide for your family, create better jobs, and build your community. It's why we constantly engineer better concrete, haul raw materials, and supply cleaner fuel. Together, we can positively impact the places where we live, work, and play throughout the Chicagoland area. To learn more, go to ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
So, you're a truck driver, a clutch cowboy, a wrangler of the road. At Ozinga, you are exactly who we need. Concrete truck drivers. People who aren't afraid of a little adventure and hard work. If you're tired of monotony and are looking to build something that matters, then come build with us. At Ozinga, we are building our families, our communities, and our country. Apply online today at ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
6:35. Let's get a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Southbound Veterans Memorial Tollway, the exit to Ogden remains closed after an earlier crash involving a motorcycle. Eden's inbound delay start at Dempster. 25 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 19. Kennedy jammed Cumberland Circle, 49 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 23 from Montrose, 13 in the Express. Outbound, it's 23 minutes to the airport. Eisenhower, an hour and 2 minutes, 390 to downtown. 47 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 35 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 36 minutes. Ryan, 26 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 41 minutes, I-80 to the merge due to a crash at 111th, the left lane. Bishop Ford 35 minutes, 80-94 with Ryan. Traffic service of Napa. Nothing like a little rain. Remind you, it's time to change your windshield wipers. Luckily, you're a quick stop at Napa, away from new wiper blades and a streakless windshield. Stop by your local Napa this month for great deals. Napa Exact Fit wiper blades. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, showers and storms around, especially to our west. We have a slight to moderate risk of storms throughout the day. High near 76, and a thunderstorm in spots overnight as well. Cloudy and mild, a low 59. Currently 63. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Sure.
McConnell's China people.
That was number one hit just a little while ago. The Cocaine Mitch and the China people did a cover of that David Bowie song, didn't they?
Well, I have to tell you, Cocaine Mitch, I mean, he's endorsing his new moniker, so to speak, after
embracing it.
Yeah. After Don lost last night, Team Mitch tweeted out a picture. It's him with, it looks like a powdery white substance around him, saying, "Thanks for playing, Don."
Yeah, it looks like a movie poster for Blow or something.
Yeah.
Now, was in that that embrace, was that just Cocaine Mitch, or did it include his China family?
There's no China family or swamp people behind him.
I'm gonna miss Don Blankenship, if nothing but for the ads. I don't think it was a good idea for him to be the nominee, obviously. So Patrick Morrissey, West Virginia Attorney General, probably gives the GOP the best chance to take out Manchin, and I think it's a good one. Pick up a seat there. But you gotta admit, these commercials are pretty fun.
You just can't stop listening to them.
Swamp Captain Mitch McConnell has created millions of jobs for China people. While doing so, Mitch has gotten rich. In fact, his China family has given him tens of millions of dollars. Mitch's swamp people are now running false negative ads against me. They are also childishly calling me despicable and mentally ill. The war to drain the swamp and create jobs for West Virginia people has begun. I will beat Joe Manchin and ditch Cocaine Mitch for the sake of the kids.
You know,
I mean, it's so bad that it's brilliant.
I love
China people and West Virginia people. And
I love Don Blankenship when he used to make wine coolers back in the 80s. For more on the election results last night, we're pleased to be joined by David Drucker, senior political correspondent for Washington Examiner, WashingtonExaminer.com. David, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, good to be here, guys.
So, West Virginia, you got the Attorney General Patrick Morrissey, and in Indiana, where you've got, these are the two states with great pickup opportunities for the Senate for Republicans. Mike Braun taking out two congressmen.
Yeah, that to me was the most interesting outcome of the night, albeit it wasn't actually surprising because we saw this coming. But you had two sitting congressmen, and they were fighting over who, was Donald Trump's best friend. It reminded me of like when we were in grade school, right? And you'd have three friends, and two of them would be fighting over the third about, no, I'm his best friend. No, I'm his best friend. And the voters were like, yeah, that's fine. We'll stick with this outsider who hasn't really been elected to much yet, even though he was a big Democratic voter until about 6 years ago. And it was very reminiscent, really, of the president in many ways, who was a big Democratic donor, voted for a lot of Democrats, worked with a lot of Democrats, until a few years back he decided he was a Republican.
Now, the person that's replacing Luke Messer in his congressional seat, lo and behold, Greg Pence, the brother of Vice President Mike Pence. What do you know about Greg Pence?
Well, I'm sure he's going to vote conservative and vote with the Republicans. It's fun. Americans, we don't like dynasties, but we like dynasties. So now the vice president has his own little mini dynasty going. And Greg Pence, I bet a lot of people are going to want to talk to him when they want to get a message to his brother. So,
Tell us all.
Yeah. It should be quite interesting.
Tell us all about dynastic political families in Chicago. But sizing up, with all of the talk about the jeopardy Republicans are in as it pertains to control of Congress, it seems like both in Indiana and West Virginia, those good pickup opportunities have been consummated into good pickup opportunities with the results last night.
Yeah, look, and I always thought whoever won in Indiana was going to cause Joe Donnelly a lot of problems, and I think he's very vulnerable. I think that where Republicans really dodged a bullet was West Virginia. John Blankenship, many Republicans felt could have taken that race off the table and let Don Blankenship and let Joe Manchin, just kind of skate to another term. So you've got that, and the other big news of the night was Robert Pittenger, the Republican incumbent congressman, getting ousted in the primary.
Yeah.
So that was of some interest there, and although he was viewed as one of the complacent members that wasn't prepared for a possible wave election, I don't think anybody thought he was going to lose his primary. But Republicans emerged last night in Ohio, in Indiana, and in West Virginia, positioned for a position to pick up some Senate seats. The only one of all of the Senate seats Republicans are positioned to pick up, I still think Ohio might be the toughest, just because Sherrod Brown has done a good job of maintaining his populist credibility, even though he votes liberal, but he's been with the president on trade issues.
And the governor's race there, DeWine versus Elizabeth Warren's Mini-Me. Is that John Kasich is one going away the last couple of cycles, but that portends to be more competitive this year. Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, it should be a tougher race this year. I mean, the atmospherics are different than in Kasich's two elections, and Ohio, even though it has moved more toward the Republicans, can still be competitive. I think a lot's going to have to do with how competitive Sherrod Brown is. If he's as competitive as I think that will help Cordray quite a bit, actually, as opposed to the other way around. I will say that Cordray is the kind of candidate that's going to excite a lot of Democrats and left-leaning independents. So they nominated somebody, and of course they do like Sherrod Brown there. They have two people at the top of the ticket that are going to motivate Democrats to vote, and they already have motivation because they just want to vote against Trump. And they both have a chance to appeal to that sort of populist independent voter in Ohio, the kind of voter that went for Trump in 2016. So we're going to have to see how this thing plays out. I think Renacci, he's solid. Trump recruited him after Josh Mandel dropped out of the race unexpectedly. But I don't think so far that he's proven to be a very appealing candidate. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him per se, but he's got his work done out for him.
Let's move to New York, where their top attorney general resigned yesterday, effective at closing time, May 8th. He resigned following allegations of abuse, that he physically abused women. We're learning this morning that he would spit on one of these four women. Why do you think it took so long for them to come forward, especially when he was, the face of the Me Too movement and he was prosecuting Harvey Weinstein?
I don't want to begin to speculate. I have to be honest with you about why it takes anybody, however long it takes them to come forward with allegations against somebody who allegedly treated them so horribly. If I can't begin to understand the psychological ramifications of what goes on. All I would say is the Attorney General resigned immediately. And usually when someone resigns immediately and doesn't fight it, it suggests that there's more at stake. I mean, it's not like he was fired. Sometimes people are fired, and we wonder if their employer acted too swiftly to fire them without allowing them to fight or hear them out. This is a case where if he wanted to stick around, he could. He didn't. And this issue has become very toxic. And what we're noticing is if you've ever behaved in this way or allegedly behaved in this way, it seems like the people who had to suffer through it are more willing to talk than they were, before the Harvey Weinstein scandal broke last year.
Do you think if Schneiderman teamed up with Spitzer, he could get a show on CNN?
Well, Look, I work for CNN, and they treat me very well. I would say that New York seems to be trying to rival New Jersey and Illinois.
Yes.
For, corrupt politicians at the top.
They just can't keep an attorney general out there. Yeah, it's tough. One other issue I wanted to get your take on, as somebody who follows all the machinations on the Hill. CAA nominee Gina Haspel, confirmation hearing today with her announcement that she wouldn't restart the enhanced interrogation program. Is it going to be smooth sailing or a little bit rough, but she's going to get through? How do you see this playing out?
There'll be a little turbulence, but not, nothing that she'll land the plane. Not a big deal. Some Democrats are going to make a big deal out of her past. The Republicans will be largely supportive. Everybody seems to recognize that she's a competent, prepared intelligence professional, the kind of person you actually want. And one of the things I've been hearing is that if you don't like the way President Trump talks about the intelligence community at times, and if you're concerned that he doesn't want to listen to the intelligence at times, some people are concerned about all these things, then Gina Haspel is the kind of person you want at CIA. It reminds me of the John Bolton, flare-up, if you will. Oh my God, he's a warmonger, he's this or that. And I was telling people, well, if you think that President Trump is not going to be tough on Russia, or if you think President Trump doesn't understand the U.S. should be a leader in the world and not retreat, John Bolton is the guy you want.
Right.
Because he believes you got to be tough on Russia and that the U.S. has to be the superpower, not just some other country that, packs it in and goes about its own business. And anyway, Gina Haspel, I think for all these reasons, will be confirmed.
He is David Drucker, senior political correspondent for the Washington Examiner, WashingtonExaminer.com. David, thanks again for joining us. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
And thanks. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Those pesky kids, We all want them, but they're annoying sometimes, especially when you're trying to do a phoner. The bad weather is here, folks. Showers, thunderstorms are in the area, and with it can bring some hail and high winds. So be careful out there. A high today of 76 degrees. Tonight, a thunderstorm in spots early this evening, a low of 59. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. I'm sure it's a pain out there on the roadways. Here's Jim Telemonte with all the details.
You're right, Amy. I-57 inbound. It's a mess from the Tri-State Tollway to 111th, where a crash blocks the left lane. It's 41 minutes. I-80 to the Verge, Bishop Ford at 35. Downtown traffic is heavy with the closure of southbound Michigan Avenue from the lake to Randolph after part of a scaffold fell off a building yesterday. Southbound Veterans Memorial, exit to Ogden Avenue, still closed after an earlier crash involving a motorcycle. The northbound Tri-State has delays from the Stevenson to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Edens runs 25 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 19. Kennedy 49 minutes. O'Hare to downtown outbound 32. Yike already an hour and 2 minutes. 390 to downtown outbound 35 minutes. Stevenson an hour and 7 minutes now. 355 to the drive. Ryan 26 minutes. 95th to downtown. Jim Telemonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Lou Dobbs. The Justice Department seeks to stop the AT&T merger. Americans are working longer and top executive changes at Nike. Those stories next.
The backyard's looking great, Rob. Thanks, man. I was planning on adding a deck, too. Know any good contractors? Why don't you just ask Home Advisor? Home what? HomeAdvisor.com. You just tell them about your project and they match you with local pros that can do the job. Nice. Now, how much does it cost? Oh, Home Advisor's totally free to use. Plus, you can read customer reviews, check pricing, and book appointments for free. What's the website again? HomeAdvisor.com. Or just download the free Home Advisor app.
Home Advisor. Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and bad tweets can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. Reputation.com can protect your good name. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. Call 800-651-4888. 800-651-4888.
The Justice Department asking a federal judge to stop the AT&T Time Warner merger. In a post-trial filing unsealed this week, the DOJ argues the deal will cost competitors $500 million a year, a ruling expected in about a month. More Americans expect to work past the age of 65, and experts say that has benefits. With fewer companies offering pensions, working until 70 helps Americans max out their Social Security benefits, shortens the time they'll need to collect them, and means a bigger income for a longer lifespan. Four more Nike executives are out as a part of an ongoing effort to overhaul the company's culture after what CEO Mark Parker describes only as inappropriate workplace behavior. And today we'll have March wholesale inventory numbers and the April Producer Price Index. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
It's not easy being a mom, but my Chrysler Pacifica makes soccer practice a little more fun. I can binge all my shows with the available UConnect theater, open the Stow and Go seating to grab my hidden romance novel, or just jam out to the radio.
Hey, Mom, what was that song?
Huh? What song? I didn't hear a song.
Chrysler Pacifica. It's loaded with attitude. Chrysler is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Todd, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Maybe I should switch to Liberty Mutual.
Visit us online to... Hey, stop echoing.
Sorry.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Americans in every tax bracket got a tax cut thanks to the tax bill signed into law last year. The economy's growing, wages are rising. Americans are feeling better about the future, and you've got more money to spend on what's important to you and your priorities. It is your money, after all. But Dems in Congress who voted against the tax cuts are promising to raise your taxes if they win in November. They want to take your money back to spend on their priorities. Only you can stop them. To find out how much more of your money you get to keep instead of sending it to D.C., where the swamp people are, go to taxcutswork.com now. There's an easy-to-use calculator, and it will tell you how much money the new tax cuts are saving you this year. Check your savings at taxcutswork.com.